everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here, and if you're new, hi, my name is Anna, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the duties and responsibilities that come with being a maid of honor. So maybe you have been a maid of honor in the past and you just want a refresher of what's expected of you, or maybe you've never been a maid of honor and you need to know all the details, then this video is for you. You can also watch this if you're a bridesmaid, but of course a lot of these duties and responsibilities are for the maid of honor. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, a little background. I have a lot of experience with weddings. First of all, I got married in July of 2019, so I have that under my belt. I've been the bride. I've been a maid of honor twice. Right now, I'm actually my sister's maid of honor. She's getting married in September. Also was a maid of honor for one of my friends back in 2021. I've also been to a lot of weddings. Of course, I'm 23 years old, so a lot of people around me have gotten married. I have a big family. My husband has a big family, and I've been to a lot of weddings. Some good, some not so good. Not only this, I actually did hair and makeup on site for brides, bridesmaids, family for 3 years. I owned that business and I was there every single morning on the day of the wedding, and I witnessed a lot of things. So let's get into the duties and responsibilities of being a maid of honor. First up is being a good listener and friend. This might seem obvious, but I just wanted to put this in here because it's so important. First of all, you want to be the person that she can complain to, she can vent to, she can stress out about things to you, and you'll just sit there and listen. Or if she's open to it, give solutions and help with solutions on how to fix problems. Maybe she's worried about something like family members not getting along. Maybe her decorations are stressing her out. You want to stay calm and help her through this. Another thing that you can listen to is what the bride wants her wedding to look like. Does she want it to be a wild, crazy party? If so, like, make sure you're on the dance floor, you know what I mean? Like, act accordingly. But if she wants a quiet, peaceful, toned down wedding, make sure that you're doing that. Lastly, for being a good listener and friend, the day of the wedding, you just want to keep the mood light. Obviously, the brides can feel nervous or anxious, and you're going to be that person that they want to turn to and talk to, and they're going to turn to you to make them feel better. And you want to keep the mood light, maybe pop open a bottle of champagne and just be there and be a good friend. Because more than likely, you being the maid of honor, you're either a really close sister, family member, or friend. So just be that person. Number 2 is communication. You want to be in communication with the bride's mother. You don't want to step on her toes if she is planning the bridal shower. You don't want to take that over because that's more of like the mom of the bride thing to plan. But if she needs help planning, then you can be that person. Another scenario is maybe the mom isn't involved. Maybe the mom and the bride aren't very close. So if there isn't a mom that's involved, maybe you do plan the bridal shower. But being in communication with the mother of the bride is a really good idea. You also want to ask the mom things like, is she going to bring the wedding day survival kit, or are you going to do that? Wedding day survival kit's just stuff like Band-Aids, Advil, safety pins, scissors. Working as the hair and makeup stylist before weddings, I can't even tell you guys how many times someone needed scissors, and I only had like a little eyelash pair of scissors, but they saved the day so many times. Okay, that might be a little dramatic. They solved a minor issue all the time though. One thing that actually did save my day for me in my wedding survival kit was a safety pin. So the what's it called? A fisheye hook, an eye hook or something at the top of my zipper on the back of my dress actually was missing. And so I had my dress on. I mean, we were 10 minutes from like walking down the aisle because I got dressed like right before, like right in front of the aisle, like behind, obviously in a room. My mom had safety pins, and I just will never forget the pure relief that I had with that. So if the mom isn't doing this, then make sure to make your bride a survival kit. But if the mom is doing that, like there again, it's just communication and being open with each other. Some more people that you're going to have to communicate with is bridesmaids and family. You're going to have to talk about dress shopping, the date of the bachelorette party, the bridal shower. Make sure everyone has each other's phone numbers before big dates like this, especially like the bachelorette party. Speaking of the bachelorette party, this is definitely one of the biggest responsibilities for a maid of honor is planning this. Now this can be a one-night thing, this can be a weekend thing. This started out as more of just a one-time thing for people back in the day. Now it's turned into this whole big glamorous trip. It doesn't always have to be a trip, it can be one night, but that's up to you to ask the bride what she wants, what she expects. You can do a surprise, but kind of get like, what vibe do you want? Who do you want invited and all that? And then you're gonna have to reach out to them, get dates, ask about budgets, all that type of stuff. So I can do a more in-depth video about planning the bachelorette party. I've planned 2 and they were both great successes. Comment down below if you would be interested in seeing that. Number 4 is attending pre-wedding events. Like I already mentioned, the bachelorette party, the bridal shower, but also the dress fittings, the rehearsal, and the rehearsal dinner. You just always want to make sure you're there because you are a very important part of this bride's whole production, whole wedding. Let's talk about bridesmaids dress shopping. Go as soon as possible because you want to have adequate time for the dress to come in, and then also have minimum 6 to 8 weeks to have them altered if you need that. Number 5 is delegate. The bride is only one person and you are also only one person. So you have to make sure that you don't overwhelm yourself because obviously you have a life and you need to figure out what you can handle. So a couple things that I think that would be perfect as delegated jobs would be A, put one of the bridesmaids the day of on duty for keeping the bride and the groom separate. Now, this is a pretty standard tradition that they don't want to see each other until the wedding ceremony, until the bride's walking down the aisle. So put the bridesmaid on that duty of texting either the best man or another groomsman and just making sure that they don't cross paths, because when there starts to be like photographers and people, like the men are ready and they're just wandering around. You want to make sure that you guys are communicating with each other, that they won't cross paths, whether that's in the hotel, the location of getting ready, or even like at the venue. Another thing that takes a lot of delegating is the bachelorette party. So personally, I've had 2 bachelorette parties, both in Airbnbs with a big group of girls, and I've delegated, you know, hey, can you decorate this like hour before we arrive, and who's bringing the bride, and who's, you know, do we want to have breakfast at home? Like, I'll bring breakfast stuff, and just kind of splitting up everything so that no one's overwhelmed and it all comes together to be a huge success. Number 6 is dealing with bridesmaid drama. You are in charge of maintaining peace. Do not stress the bride out with this. Hopefully this doesn't happen very often, but I just know that some girls are petty or passive aggressive, and there can just be these like weird, awkward situations. And as the maid of honor, you want to just tell them, be adults, we're here for so-and-so, for the bride, like get over yourselves. Pretty much like plain and simple. You can tell the bride about it, but don't stress the bride out. Like just tell her it's handled. It's fine, like no need to worry. Definitely, you should not be causing any drama with other bridesmaids. Number 7 is keeping track of gifts received at the bridal shower. If the bride opens presents in front of people, then you will write down what she's getting from who, so that when she writes thank you cards, she knows who got her what. Number 8 is preparing a speech to give at the reception. Now this might scare a lot of you, like public speaking, and you don't know what to talk about and you're nervous. I'm gonna help you out. It's pretty simple when you break it down. So A, how do you know they're in love? Give an example, maybe a funny story. Don't embarrass them though. No one wants to be embarrassed on their wedding day, not the groom and not the bride. Think of examples how you know that they love each other and how you know that they're committed to each other. Wish them well. Do not procrastinate on this. If you procrastinate, it's going to be so hard to come up with examples. It's going to be so forced. I say start taking notes 6 months in advance, because then if something happens, you can write it down in your notes on your phone, just really quick. It'll be so much easier to write. And then about a month out, have it finalized, and then have a couple people proofread it. If they say you're good to go, you're great, you'll feel so confident in your speech. But really find people that proofread it and will actually make suggestions, not people that are worried about your feelings and just say, oh yeah, it's great. Like have someone really proofread it. Number 9 is offer to help with specifics. It's really hard for people to come up with, you know, what to say when you're like, oh, I'm here if you need anything, or let me know if you need anything. It's hard for people to come up with what you can do. Like they don't know your schedule, they don't know how busy you are, they don't know what you can comfortably do and what makes you uncomfortable. So if you give specifics, they're much more apt to actually accept the help. A couple specific examples would be, A, making appointments for bridesmaid dress shopping. Maybe, the bride gives you a list of dates she's available and you take it upon yourself to text everyone and get a date that's good for everyone. B, help make decorations with her. Maybe she's DIYing and crafting signs or table centerpieces and stuff like that. She might be overwhelmed. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to just like take all the stuff home and do it, but offer to come over to her house and you guys can have a great day and like craft together and get that done. Another thing that you can actually do at her house with her, maybe she's making a playlist for the DJ. So have a dance party with her. Make it a fun day, like have some mimosas, listen to music, and create that DJ list. The last example of something specific to help her with would be maybe you're helping address envelopes for thank you cards. Some people have huge weddings, and let's say there's 300 thank you cards to send. Maybe you're just at her house with her and you're just putting stamps on. Obviously, you don't have to do all the work because it's her wedding, but just those little things can help them a lot. The 10th responsibility would be helping set up and do last minute things in the morning. Maybe there's decor to set up. Maybe she needs all the chairs to be pushed in and perfect and polished. Maybe the baker just arrived with the cake and someone needs to go run and tell him where to put it. There's all sorts of last minute things in the morning, and as the maid of honor, you should just be able to step up and do those things. After the night is over, make sure that the bride and groom take all their gifts, all their cards, that type of stuff home with them or to the hotel or wherever. And then at the end of the night or the next morning, tearing down all the decorations and just helping them get everything back to the way that the venue expects it to be. Number 11, and I cannot stress this one enough, making sure everyone is on time. I can't even tell you guys how many times I saw this doing hair and makeup in the morning with the brides. Bridesmaids, girls just start like talking and maybe they've had some champagne and they're just having so much fun, and that's great, but the time goes quick, like quicker than you think. Once you think about all the things you have to do, like steam the dresses and get your dresses on and put your shoes on and put your jewelry on and touch up your lipstick, like there's a lot of last minute details to do. So if you're the maid of honor and you see there's an hour before you have to leave, gather everyone up, say, we're gonna start the steamers, we gotta steam our dresses, like let's get dressed. And then like as you guys are leaving, okay, does everyone have their lipstick? Does everyone have their tampons? Number 12 is assisting the bride the day of the wedding. Now all of these are assisting the bride, but these are more specific for the day of the wedding. A, make sure the bride is well hydrated and has eaten something prior to the wedding ceremony. We don't want anyone passing out. Of course, if she has a mom, like I said, don't step on the mom's toes. If you've heard the mom tell her like, hey honey, eat something, like eat this, don't be like a nagger and like also say it, but maybe the mom isn't there, maybe the mom and her aren't close, maybe, there's all these scenarios. So if no one's helping her eat something or drink something, like help her do that. You'll be in charge of holding her bouquet during the ceremony and possibly the groom's ring, so just be aware of that. Going to the bathroom with her during the night, like during the reception. A little trick though is that if a bride goes on the toilet backwards, hear me out, she can lift the front of her dress and straddle the toilet. The back is just there. Obviously the bridesmaid could like lift the back too, but then you're not looking into each other's eyes when she's going to the bathroom. So there's a little tip for you. You'll also bustle her dress, or the mom might do this, bustling her dress before the reception and the dancing starts. Those are all the duties and responsibilities of a maid of honor, and I hope you guys found this video really helpful. If you want me to make a more in-depth video on planning a bridal shower and planning a bachelorette shower, I could totally do that. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye!